Good morning, everyone. That was so the members in the hall who need to be in here can hear that. I believe we are all in our places with bright, shiny faces, so it is time to kick off this week's edition of the Commerce Committee. I'm Kevin Vaughn. I'll be the Merrill Stubing of this love boat today, driving us into uncharted waters. So if we could, Mr. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Representatives Alexander, Barrett, Boyd, Burkhart, Camper, Clemens, Faison, Freeman, Garrett, Hale, Hardaway, Haston, Hazelwood, Holsclaw, Johnson, Lynn, Marsh, Moon, Powers, Sparks, Thompson, Towns, Vital, Williams, Zachary, Vice Chairman Bricken, Chairman Vaughn. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Outstanding. I'd like to say happy Valentine's Day today to all in attendance. I hope if you're looking for romance and intrigue, you've come to the right spot. First off, we're going to be looking for any personal orders. I see what appears to be a bunch of fast talkers out there in the crowd today. I believe the Tennessee Auctioneers group is with us today. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to say welcome. We're glad you're here, and we hope you've had a good day. And I believe we've got some of our members have folks from their district there. Speaker Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to welcome Joshua Houston from the big town of Bell Buckle in Bedford County. Welcome, Joshua.
Anybody else have some? Chairman Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see one of my constituents out there, Mr. Jay White. If you'd make him feel welcome, guys.
How about you, Representative Garrett?
I also see one of my constituents in the crowd. I'd like to welcome her, Patty Baldini. Thank you for being here from Sumner County.
And Chairman Powers.
I see my neighbor for about 3 houses down the street here today, and I want to welcome him, J.J. Dower, who was president or former president of the National Auctioneers, right? Are you former now, right? Former. All right. Thank you for coming to be here.
I don't believe there's any more title that is more coveted than that of being immediate past president. That is such a. By the way, I just want to tell our committee here, congratulations. Congratulations to you all. I got a text this morning from the National Council of State Legislators, nonetheless, that we have been chosen as the most romantic committee in the entire state legislatures in the entire U.S. So congratulations to you all. Hey, I'm not saying you had a good head start based upon your chairman, but that may be what we're doing. All right, here we go. We have a calendar today. It is a very busy calendar. We've got 2 items on it. Our first item is going to be under consideration is House Bill 129 by Representative Capley. Is he in the room? Is he? Oh, there you are. President. Welcome, Representative Capley.
Are you with us today? Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. House Bill 129 makes government work better by updating collateral requirements for local government funds held on deposits with federal savings banks by removing promissory notes as a form of collateral. This will more accurately reflect current industry practices, and collateral will be easier to monitor, and thus public funds will be more securely safeguarded. This bill was brought to me by the Comptroller's Office.
I'm sorry, Representative Capley, is this your first bill in front of this committee?
In front of this committee, yes, sir.
All right. With that objection, we're going to roll it to the heel of our calendar. Chairman Boyd, I believe, is next up with House Bill 489. You are recognized, Chairman Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman of the committee. This wonderful piece of legislation was brought to me by the Tennessee Bankers Association. And so just to give you a little background, back when Tennessee had an inheritance tax, banks were required to notify the Department of Revenue when someone with a safety deposit box passed away. And so since there's no more estate tax, that's no longer necessary. So we're taking that out of statute there. We're also providing that trust companies do not need to provide public notice when they open a new branch. They just don't really interact with the public like a lot of other institutions like that. So it's not necessary. And it clarifies that state charter banks have the same authority as national banks when seeking payment from a borrower for the fee charged for a release of deed of trust. Mr. Chairman, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Chairman Boyd. Do we have any questions on this? Representative Towns,
Thank
you
you, sir.
recognize.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Sponsor, on the bill now, when someone passes away now, what happens? Can there be a possibility that their resources would just sit there for a long time for the lack of somebody knowing what's
Chairman?
going on?
Chairman Boyd.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure I understand the question. Will you rephrase that again?
In other words, you're saying that it's going to remove the responsibility of the bank to contact someone if someone passes away, right? So many times people may forget what they have, and if someone passes away now, no one will be notified by the bank, their family, or no one will be notified by the bank, which creates to me an opportunity for those resources to sit there for possibly a long time. How does that impact, if we pass this, how does it impact that
Chairman
scenario?
Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Representative, previously, when there was a state inheritance tax, the bank had to notify the Department of Revenue so that there could be the capacity there for an estate tax to be paid on what was in the safety deposit box. We don't have an estate tax anymore, an inheritance tax, so that's no longer necessary. It's kind of irrelevant at this point.
Okay.
Representative Towns.
Thank you again. Thank you for that clarification. I thought that you were saying someone was notifying someone and notifying someone in that person's family or when they pass away, but you're not saying that they're notifying the family members at all.
No, sir. It's just stopping a little bit of needless bureaucracy on this one, I believe, Representative Towns.
Right.
Thanks for your question. Chairman Brickens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was going to provide hopefully a little clarity. On a safety deposit box that goes unclaimed or past that point, and the bank will drill that box and inventory the contents. And if they can't contact the owners, it goes to the, I guess, Treasury's Office, Secretary of State's under unclaimed property. And then they publicize it out there to try to find the proper owner.
Thank you, Chairman Brickens, for that clarification. And that's a great way to segue into an advertisement for our unclaimed property website. Always a good place to go every year or two to see if perhaps there's a check out there with your name on it that's being held by our treasurer. So, it's just, I'm sorry, just my secret admirer was trying to call me. I apologize. I'm sure they were wanting to wish me a happy Valentine's Day. All right, so unclaimed property is through the state treasurer's office, a great website, great resource. So everybody out there, go check it out. All right, I don't see any more questions on this bill. So for that, we are going to ask all those in favor of moving this bill to calendar and rules, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None. The ayes have it. Off to calendar and rules. I was a little bit reticent, a little bit neglectful, passing over calendar item number 2 the way that I did. It has been requested that it be rolled 1 week. So it is indeed rolled until next week. So if you came here to hear that bill, come back next week. You'll see what it's all about. All right, that brings us to the heel of our calendar and Representative Capley. House Bill 129.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I know you're new, but around here we wait until that motion and second has the bill in proper posture before you begin to speak. So we appreciate your eagerness. We're even anticipating what you've got to share with us, but we are one strictly for decorum in the House Commerce Committee. So anyway, Representative Capley, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize. Would the committee like me to read the bill summary again? Absolutely. Okay. So this bill makes government work better by updating collateral requirements for local government funds.
Representative Capley, we've got a point of order for the House parliamentarian. Yes. Representative Capley, today of all days, we're here basking in our accolades about being named the most romantic committee. We're basking in the fact that there's nothing but love and intrigue and romance in the room, and here you are just trouncing on decorum. Representative, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do I have the committee's permission to read the bill summary?
You're out of order, Representative Capley. We don't ask the committee what they want to do. We ask the chairman what you're allowed to do. Representative Capley, even though I think I'm going to try again. You're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, do I have permission to read the bill summary?
For goodness sakes, go ahead, young man.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill makes government work better by updating collateral requirements for local government.
Excuse me, point of order must be recognized. Yes, Representative Hardaway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't recall him citing the bill number. So I don't know what he's reading.
Well, just allow me to say, Representative Hardaway, thank you for that. And I'm going to say, sometimes as a member of this committee, you've just got to kind of dig through some layers and try to find out what some of our newer bill sponsors are providing us. So if you could, I appreciate it, but just bear with us. Representative Capley, could you tell us what in the world you're doing standing before us?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is House Bill 129.
There you go. Now then, we all know why we're here. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill makes government work better by updating collateral requirements for local government funds held on deposits with federal savings banks by removing promissory notes as a form of collateral and will more accurately reflect current industry practices. Collateral will be easier to monitor, and thus public funds will be more securely monitored and safeguarded. This is a comptroller bill.
Thank you very much, Representative Capley. I've got, anybody got any questions? I just have one. What do you have against promissory notes? Representative Capley.
I don't believe I have anything against promissory notes, sir.
I know I can't, so we're not, I wouldn't know if he was spelling it correctly. Representative Towns, you have your hand up.
Thank you, sir. Now, have you ever promised any note to anybody?
Sponsor?
No comment, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Towns.
I take that as an affirmative or a dodging for incrimination of self.
Does anybody else have anything to, yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, point of personal privilege, if I may welcome someone from the crowd who just walked in late.
Oh, please, but do remind them, we are sticklers for promptness in Commerce Committee.
Well, it's not unusual for the finest young and upcoming auctioneer in the state of Tennessee, Mr. Drew Williams, to come in late. So go ahead and stand up, Mr. Williams, so we can recognize you for joining us today.
His skill.
Welcome one and all. All right, if we have my dear friend from Davidson County.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to tell Representative Capley, I apologize for the way you've been treated this morning. If you think this was uncomfortable, you should try serving in the minority.
I'm not so sure that wasn't a recruitment pitch.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions of the bill sponsor? Question has been called. All those in favor of passing House Bill 129 out of commerce, we're going to calendar and rules. No, we're going, this has a fiscal. Ooh, good luck at Finance, Ways and Means. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. I hear any no's, none heard. You're off Finance, Ways and Means.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
If there's no other business to come before the committee, we are now adjourned.